Well, hello and good morning, good day and good afternoon, depending on what side of the equator you might find yourself on. On today's episode of What's on Your Mind, we are going to be talking about something that every single one of us has in common. What's that, I hear you say? We're all getting older. Many of us dread getting older. And the good news is that aging isn't something to fear. No, it's something to be embraced. It can be actually one of the richest seasons in our life. We're going to be talking about that. Keep it stuck, keep it stick. We're going to be right back after this.
What's on your mind? Let's talk it out. With Olive and Val, there's never a doubt. Morning vibes that feel so fine. Tune in now, it's breakfast time.
Tune in now, it's breakfast time.
Hello, everybody. Look at where we are. We've brought you to one of our local parks. To my right is a tennis lawn. To my left is a cricket lawn. Take your pick. The dog walkers are out. Everyone, and they haven't seen cats so far. You can hear the cuckoo in the background. You can hear the birds. You are very, very welcome
To a very
to a
special
very special
open air.
open air on location episode. With me here, not in the studio, in the park, is the one and only DJ Val. And my name is Olive. You are very welcome. I would let the birds welcome you even more. Can you hear them? Yes. How are you all? Thank you once again for joining us. Sanu, Kedu, bonjour, bonsoir, buenos dias. Akosumate is welcome in this era.
Sumate
in-
is definitely very welcome
in
in this
this-
area. It's very, very welcome. A lot of people think it's not welcome, but there's a lot of
It is.
Akosomatians around here. I can see them. You know, we have a national anthem as well.
You
for
do?
people from Akosomati.
Really?
Yeah, we do.
All right. Before we go into
Didn't seem to impress.
whatever.
All right, cool.
Before we go into today's subject matter, let us very quickly go over. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for yet last week the live chat was bubbling. Thank you for all those who were engaging. Pami B, all of you, you know yourselves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're a new joiner, don't stay in the background. Join the chat. Join the chat.
Join us in the park.
Oh, join us in the park. Or better still, you can take your cup of coffee and walk to your local park if you've got a nearby. Now we're in the open air. So if you see me chasing away anything, please, it's just nature.
She's not chasing me away. She's just chasing nature
It's
away.
just nature. Let's very quickly go over to what I call one of my favorite parts of the show. Your comment from the loneliness episode. Right. So in no particular order, Alison kicks us off. She goes, happy heavenly 75th birthday to Olive's beautiful mum. The way Olive described her as a woman who dodged bullets for her family and showed how deeply she loved and sacrificed for her children. Her legacy clearly lives on through Olive and the rest of the family. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I did. Yeah, many of you, thank you for staying till the end of the show to see that reel as well. We're very, very grateful. And many of you were saying that, oh my goodness, she looks like her mom. Yeah, the interesting thing is all my siblings, I've got 6 sisters, 7 actually, and we all look like my mother at different phases in her life. So you might find one that looks like my younger mom. I'm supposed to be the one who looks like the older her, but anyhow. Anyhow, that's what I got. Moving on, Beckett says hundreds of online connections. We were talking, the subject last week was the loneliness epidemic, and thank you for all your contributions. hundreds of online connections and cannot replace one person who genuinely knows your heart. So true. So true. And in the quest for it continues to leave some people even more lonely because they're looking for it in the wrong places. We pray that the Lord will truly guide us aright. Kunle, Mr. Atinuke, and Kunle Roberts, this was such an important conversation. The distinction between being alone and feeling unseen, even when surrounded by people, really stayed with me. Topic well delivered. And then we've got more, if I can get to them. Yes. And Mr. Zimmerman, Adrian says, a serious subject handled with warmth,
wisdom, and just enough
thank you. Go
DJ
ahead.
Val humor to stop it feeling too heavy. And it was at that point that I said, he ain't heavy, he's my brother.
All right, do you want to finish it off then?
Who else have we got left? So I've done
Bumi,
Adrian.
Miss
Okay, yeah,
Bumi.
I've got Bumi. So
girl.
Bumi says, the tribute to Olive's mum was incredibly moving. 5 years may have passed, but you could hear the love, pride, gratitude in every word. I especially loved Olive saying that the memories are becoming sweeter rather than more painful. Happy heavenly birthday to a truly remarkable mother and queen.
Yeah, she's a queen. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there more?
Thank you. One more,
There's
Mr.
one more.
Forbister.
Okay, yep, Mr. Darren Forbister. He says, one meaningful conversation can make such a difference.
It really can. It really can. And thank you to Pammy she was telling us about volunteering for Age UK and all of that. Again, we do our little bit in our little part of our community as best as we can. If you don't have, and then somebody else said she serves, I think it was Bumi that said she serves in church as well, that she finds fulfillment. Yes, because you meet different kinds of people when you serve in church, from hospitality to tea and coffee, to greeting, to ushering, to you name it. And wherever you find yourself, I pray that the Lord, that conversation has stirred a deeper longing to do it more meaningfully. Because sometimes we do something day in, day out, or week in, week out, and afterward it becomes like a chore. And we hope that the Lord will inspire us to make it even more meaningful for us and those that we serve. Thank you all so much for that. We've got international news really quickly.
We have, No,
Yeah.
I was thinking, did you introduce yourself? Because people may not know who
I
you are.
did. I
you?
did. My
Okay.
name's Olive. I'm here with
Did
the
you
one and
introduce
only.
me?
Yes, I did.
Say my name.
He wants it.
Say my name, say my
Oh
name.
my goodness. Oh Lord. It's not that kind of show, It's not. Just isn't. I don't know what the fresh air has done to his head. On a good day, it
Doesn't take that much,
doesn't take that much. On a good day, he's distracted. Now today that the green breeze is
It's
getting.
just, you know what? It's absolutely perfect weather-wise. I know a lot of people struggle with the heat, and I know this is just an aside. But when I go out for my walks, it really makes me appreciate how God is so great with what he does. If the weather was like this all the time, there would be no hibernation for the birds, the trees wouldn't be able to go into seed time and harvest time. So while we've got this beautiful weather, we just have to really enjoy it. So I'm very, very excited. And if you have a picnic.
Oh yeah, we've come for a picnic. I finished the tortilla chips while we were setting up. And I tell you, I must say thank you very much, DJ Val, because this outdoor setting or in this remote location, it hasn't been easy technically, but he's navigated it so well. We've got gorgeous dogs just walking by. Anyway, very quickly, let's go on to international news. So this is an odd one. Sunken Nazi warships emerged from the Danube as water levels dropped to record lows. This has affected the nuclear plant in Romania and Hungary. So as a result of the heat, the water levels in the Danube dropped. And made sunken ships visible. Now, the nuclear plants need water in those areas
Yeah, for the
for
cooling
cooling
process.
system, yes. But now both countries, both Bucharest and Budapest, have had to increase their power import and are urging citizens to minimize their power usage. Many businesses are all for it. I mean, I don't know what it would be like here if we got into that situation. But the heat really, this extreme weather. I brought this in just to show us that the extreme weather has other consequences and effects in other parts of the world. And of course, some of the wildfires in France are now being better contained. The next piece of international news I have is just a question with again with FIFA being over, and I keep saying this was one World Cup that will go down for the record books. The scandal continues around its president in Infantino. What say you? Because UEFA is still calling for him to step down. What say you? What do you think? What do you think? Him resenting on that comment or offer, does that mean we, go back as normal? Because he's talking like a man who's not ready to go anywhere. What say you?
It's a mafia.
It's a mafia. You will agree on that one.
Yeah,
We agree.
There's a lot to that story, and it's not as easy
it's not straightforward.
as you. No.
The Africans want him to stay because
he has a lot of power.
He's getting the money.
You have the unseen people behind everything, and there's a group that they're kingmakers. This guy was coronated. He was made a king because they want him there. So, yeah. To be continued.
A national news, you know me, when I get a deal, I will let you know. Cheapest supermarket this month, because if you're like many parents, the children on holiday, both the young ones and the big ones, they're eating you out of fridge and cupboard. People are shopping more than before Thursday. Who was it that said to me, by Thursday, I needed to go shopping again. So now they do this report, cheapest supermarket every month. But this one is none other than Aldi for the 7th month in a row, according to which. Now, the budget supermarket beat Lidl to retain the top spot this time with a basket of, so they do like a number of groceries in a basket and they'll cost it across all supermarkets. So this time around, 93 groceries costing £158.5p. At Lidl, the same basket cost 160. Note the difference, 160.70, while Asda came third at 185.81. So I know Asda, again, many people think they're quite affordable and they're everywhere, but Aldi and Lidl, as I always say, they come up trumps. So
Yes, I agree.
Go. I mean, in this holiday season, I say, I don't think you're going for brand. Just keep their bellies full and your fridge stocked up. Thank you, DJ Val, for helping them for our comments. Thank you. Now, really quickly, before we take, I think we've got time before we go on a break. Let's introduce our subject for today. DJ Val had touched on it really quickly, and as you've noticed, he's embracing his zaddy looks. He's embracing his silver surf very, very well. Somebody said, I didn't recognize him in a picture because he never grows a beard, let alone a gray one. So he's embracing his progression in years. And our subject for today is longevity. Bracket, aging well. I must thank, again, Mr. Frank, for this is a derivative from one of his topics. Thank you so much, Mr. Cohen. Shalom for submitting this proposed subject to discuss. Again, I remind you, please, if you have any subject you'd like us to cover, put it in the chat, answers on a postcard, and we will find a way to weave them in. If they don't become a subject of their own, we will weave them into the matter. So, exploring longevity, let's start with the dictionary definition of longevity. It simply means living a long life or having a long duration of life. Beyond just a long lifespan, the modern definition includes health span, which means staying healthy, active, and free of serious disease as you age. It can also mean the duration at which one stays at, say, employment, longevity. But in exploring longevity today, it's quick to notice that we're not just living. Longevity is not just about living longer. Longevity is about living better. So the question has always been, for this generation, we are living longer, but are we living better? Because we're plagued with diseases. How do we stay mentally sharp? Are we? Because the rise of Alzheimer's, dementia, etc. are on the rise amongst, the baby boomers who are the ones getting older, for the ones at that age in this generation. How do we stay fulfilled after retirement? I hear Mr. Frank ask me, how do we stay after retirement? What next? How do we stay bright and engaged with life? How do we continue making a difference no matter the age, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, or even perhaps 90s, like my father who just turned 90? When you're in your 20s and your 30s, these questions, of course, are relevant to you. They don't matter. But now, more so, if you're in your 30s and your 40s, this needs to matter to you because many of the choices we make in midlife have a substantial influence on how healthy those latter years or latter decades are. So, don't go anywhere. Grab your coffee, sit tight. If you're doing your errands, stay focused, have your AirPods tucked in. Let's break this down. Lifespan. What is lifespan? I just used that word earlier. And health span. The total number of years you're alive. That's your lifespan. Your years. Health span. The years you live in good health with physical and mental function. Now, this is such a big subject. I've broken it up into about 5 elements, but when we can't cover this today, we're going to have a part 2 definitely. So I'll tell you the parts I've broken it into. The science of aging as a privilege. Retirement is not the finish line. It is a gear shift, keeping the mind vibrant and staying fulfilled in your latter years or in your golden years, as some refer to it. DJ Val, what say you? I can see you nodding.
Yeah, I believe in growing old gracefully. But anyway, that's not really what you asked me. So society often.
No. I'm asking for your comment. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, so I think that thing about growing old, but being able to enjoy being old, I think is, or as you're aging, is really, really important. I think the quality of life should go up, not go down.
Yeah.
You may not be able to maybe run a marathon or do some of those other things that you would typically want to do, but you want to be able to enjoy everything. Like, for example, we've been out here in the park. How many older people have walked past?
Yeah.
Quite a few. In
Quite
fact,
a
more
few.
of the older generation than the younger generation have been actually out walking around. It's again, if you're not healthy, you're not well.
Yeah.
You don't have to live somewhere that's got full of greenery. Sometimes it's just that ability just to be able to move around and enjoy yourself for where you are. So I think that's really, it's a huge thing when you get old. I mean, you hear some people who are bedbound, sometimes through no fault of themselves, but there's things, and I'm sure we're going to touch on it, things that you can do that just help keep you going enough for you to be able to enjoy aging. And if you do those things, I think you age with dignity, with grace, and also with fun too.
Yes.
Yeah, with lots of fun.
Yes, 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 you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone gets again, that's, I guess, these thoughts, as you get older, they become, when you're young, you don't think these thoughts, but I would always remember my grandmother would always say things like the privilege of, that she considered getting old a privilege because I was her grandchild and she saw her great grandchild, and that to her was a privilege. And so, and because we were big on birthdays in my family, or we are big on birthdays, every birthday is that chance, is another gift. And I dug up this proverb from Proverbs chapter 16, verse 31, which says, gray hair is a crown of splendor. It is attained in the way of righteousness. Have you heard of it? Ever heard that scripture? Gray hair is a crown of splendor, and it is attained in the way of righteousness.
Because it's interesting how the Bible sees grey hair and how the world almost sees it as a problem that needs to be fixed. Now, I'll be very honest with you. I have been able to touch up my roots now and then to give myself a certain, look and certain feel. But overall, when you begin that aging process, it almost seems as if there's a problem with you getting old, or you aging. There's a lot of miracle drugs out there that want you to,
Oh,
it's almost like the fountain of youth.
Yes.
Can you find the fountain? What's the secret thing?
Yeah.
Which peptide? Which whatever they are, they
and
find
they're
out.
costing
Yeah.
tons of money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Very true. Well, we're going to pause here. My question
Let's
to you
take a
is,
pause for the call.
are you aging with soul? If you're not aging, have you got soul?
Do you have soul?
I think I'm aging with soul.
I think I'm aging with soul too.
We'll be right back.
Don't go nowhere.
This isn't just music,
It's prayer in a melody,
truth and conversation.
and community in sound.
What if you know,
You know,
you know,
you feel it in your soul.
I have soul.
Soul Food Gospel Radio.
Are back. Do you have soul?
I have soul.
I've gone back to playing that soul one again. I like the other one, but I like this one as well.
Yeah, you can interchange them. I've got soul. Get the bird singing that for us in a minute. Right.
So welcome back.
Welcome back. So the science of aging is what we're going to delve into.
There's a science.
There
in
is
aging?
a science to it. There's a
Okay.
science to everything. This is such a huge subject. The science is it is a study of why our bodies, and I have gone to, let me make reference to, it's the Institute of the Institute of the
AI.
Institute of Aging. That's it.
I didn't know there was such a
Yeah,
thing.
there is
but
an institute.
There's an institute for everything.
Yep, yeah, because that's their specialty. They just study everything to do around getting older. Yeah, and they say it is it's the study why your body changes over time, and what those changes mean for your health, your independence, and the quality of life. Now, it is particularly relevant. These changes are relevant because it's often when our biological, so around 40s and 50s, this changes become obvious. And because that's around when biological changes become more noticeable, and it then begins to influence, these things can are still highly influenced by lifestyle and medical care. So, here's a practical way to think about it, as opposed to the jargon of the science. Aging isn't just getting older. There are two types of age: your chronological age, which is the number of birthdays that you've had, and your biological age, which is how well your cells, organs, and body systems are functioning. So you get some of these wellness clinics. When you go in, part of the check they do for you is your biological age. They try and diagnose your biological age.
Oh, I've seen that. There's a
That's
show
what. That's it.
that did that, where then they treat the people. Well, treat them.
That's
They
it.
make them go on diets and things like that. And
That's
say,
it.
so you had a biological age of
That's
65 and the person's
yeah,
30.
30. Yep.
And then
Yep.
they
Yep.
do. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
I had one done for me, and my jaw dropped. And of course, again, because I've always struggled with my weight as a child and all of that, I'm very aware of what goes into my body and the impact it has. But of course, as you get older, things just change. So what happens inside the body? The scientists have identified several processes that gradually change our bodies over time. One, your cells become less efficient. Your body is constantly replacing damaged cells. We call it what do we call it? Free radicals. As you age, this repair system slows down. And so think of it as a house that's repaired less often. Small problems gradually add up. So you find some people, after they've post reproductive age, they're not perhaps going to the clinic as often as they used to, because during their reproductive years, they needed to. And then two, the DNA accumulates damage. Every day your DNA experiences damage daily from normal metabolism, sunlight, pollution, and all the sources. Those, if you exercise, your muscles experience damage and repair. Your body repairs most of it, it does, but the repair mechanisms become less efficient over time. Three, inflammation increases. Many people develop a low level of persistent inflammation as they age, sometimes called inflammaging. Some people then call it things like this can contribute to heart disease, arthritis, diabetes, and other age-related conditions. You know, four, I'm just stating it, we'll unpack them as we go along. The muscles shrink. Some people say as you get older, everything goes south. Women know that. You know, they say your face is sagging, even your hands, things just begin to go downwards. This process, so from your 30s onward, muscle mass begins to decline unless you actively maintain it. You wouldn't know it to look at my arms, but the minimum weight I use in the gym is between combined 14 kg to 20. But yet you wouldn't know it to look at it. But I do, because that's the only way to keep those muscles, where they should be.
And the muscles support the frame.
And the muscles support the frame, So hormone change, it declines because we're not actively maintaining it. Now, like I just talked about my muscles, the muscles also respond to that strength training with the weights. 5, hormones change. That's probably the most popular one everybody knows. Hormonal changes become more noticeable in midlife. Women experience menopause with falling estrogen levels. Women, have got good news for you. We've got a menopause expert finally booked. It's going to come in at the end of the season for
And it's
us.
not me. I know you were thinking it was me.
No, it's not
me.
him. It's not me either. We've got one booked, honestly.
I am menopause aware.
I'm so
I'm menopause
excited
aware.
to have her.
Mhm.
I'm so excited. Closer to the time, we'll begin to plug this thing so you can tell your friends, family, everybody gather to listen to her.
And menopause is a protected characteristic now.
Yeah, it is in Equality Act.
Yep, in the equality majiggity jiggity.
Men experience a more gradual decline in testosterone, although changes vary considerably. Now, there is no scientific research here shown, but the 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 the, the comment or the myth is that black men have this less than other races. So you can find a black man still fathering children well into his 80s and 90s because that seldom happens with them. So these shifts can affect many things from your sleep, energy, mood, bone health, and body composition. Last but by no means the least, the immune system changes. The immune system becomes slower at responding to new infections. You hear this all the time. So, well, when you're older, you heal slower. Yeah. While also becoming more prone to chronic inflammation, that chronic inflammation slows down the healing process. I'll repeat this point again because I really want us to just to have this, cells become less efficient. DNA accumulates change, inflammation increases, muscles shrink, hormones change, immune system changes. DJ Val, do you have a comment? You've been nodding. You've just been
Do
nodding.
I have a comment?
You've just been nodding.
I always have a comment.
Okay, go for it then.
I will. There was. You said house, and I was thinking of a song actually. You want to know what the song was?
What's the song,
You said it
darling?
about 6 minutes ago, but it's my house and I live in it. When's the last time you heard that?
You know, that's a very, very appropriate song. Sometimes you come up with songs that are not quite appropriate, but this is a very,
What do you mean?
like the one you just sang, but whoever was sang that one. But this is a very appropriate song because the Bible tells us that our bodies are the temples of the living God. So if you consider your body as your house, the host of your spirit, your soul, and your mind. Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. Say hello to the camera.
We can't say hello to the camera. We can't see him.
And you've left your ball. Oh, I love it when you have guests interrupting. Bye-bye. What's his name?
Great. What's his name?
Lucky.
Yeah, Lucky's bringing
Lucky
the ball
wants
back.
his ball back, bringing it back to us. Oh, guys, you see what happens when you're out in nature. Lovely. Did you see him? Did you see
I think you didn't see him.
Oh. Maybe the
He was too small.
Too small. The camera was too low.
Yeah.
He literally brought his ball to us.
Oh.
Well, anyway,
He's become famous now. Lucky.
Lucky. Right.
Yes. So you were just saying. So
that
it's my
your
house.
body, yes, and your body houses your soul, your spirit, and the body houses every other thing, your emotions, your dreams, your aspirations. It takes you everywhere, and so the body, it's important that we look after it. Now, this the talking about we healing slowly, the body's reserve is called, some scientists call it the body's reserve capacity, where it much like a generator that kicks in when the mainframe is down. The body itself also has a reserve that helps it. But when that starts shrinking, we notice the following: reduced energy. You're tired. Sometimes by Thursday, I am shattered. And the longer recovery after exercises, So true. This week I had one of those ones where I can't really raise my arm because I did arms, So the recovery is slower. There's more stiffness at all times. If you watch me every now and again, I have to move my legs to move because if I sit for too long, things get a bit stiff. And then changes, of course, in weight and metabolism. The menopausal women experience it, but even the men experience some of that shift in weight. Difficulty sleeping, perhaps due to some of the menopausal symptoms or any of these other symptoms that we've mentioned. Reading glasses become necessary,
I've got reading glasses.
but you've always needed glasses anyway, so yours wasn't as a result of aging. And I needed glasses because I've been a VDU user for years. So different changes, but these are common, but they don't necessarily mean that you're in poor health. They're just those signs that just remind us to look after ourselves. So this research continues to suggest that we can't stop aging, but we can influence how we age. So like DJ Val said something about, what did you say earlier? You said coming out in the air, we've
just
seen more
being
mature
able
people.
to-
So and the how a lot of these things are lifestyle dependent. So did you have something to add to that, to what you just said?
Oh, so regular exercise, I guess
Okay,
I'm
we
saying.
touched on that.
So that's a thing. And regular is not necessarily every day as I sit down there and think of it. It's regular, just making it a regular thing that you do.
Consistent.
Yeah. If it's 1 day a week, keep your 1 day a week streak always going. If it's twice a week, keep your twice a week streak going. If you're saying that you're going to get out 3 times a week and it's on different days, keep to it and do it. Find a level. I find most people think they need to go crazy. That's not the idea. Is something that you can manage and do it regularly. I walk quite a bit, as you know. So, I get up and if I told you 6 years ago, if you said to me, DJ Val, would you be walking in the morning? Turn around and tell you, no way, Jose. It's just not. It's not my vibe. I'm not going to do that. But I started off but little bits, and then bit by bit you build up your strength and your stamina as well. Eating well, good nutrition. KFC is not good nutrition. All right, KFC is a treat. Okay, people of God, it is a treat. It's a very nice treat. I'm not gonna say
confessions.
No. I always. That's why we don't have it all the time.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was saying to myself, we haven't had the Colonel this month, but then again, it's only how many days into the month? But we haven't had.
You
the
didn't
Colonel.
have it last month either.
No, we won't.
Because I think he doesn't have it so often, he craves it the more.
I treat them as
treats.
as treats. I was, do you eat? So no, I have a hamburger, I have a hot dog, but it's a treat. And for the rest of the time, I do try to, I more veg, still struggling a bit with fruits, whole grains, legumes, healthy fats. Yes, I like healthy fats and adequate protein. Sign me up. Yeah, Mr. Protein. Protein. Lots of protein. Dead animals. I'm all right with that.
I'm digging, my chair is digging into the soil.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so you
Don't
get when
fall
you
off.
No. When you're out on flat, it's not even the ground.
It's
is
not
not
even
even
flat.
level.
We're on
yeah.
a bit. It's undulating.
It's undulating.
Yeah.
So bear with me if I move around to find my balance. Back to the exercise thing. So again, you have to identify what you need. So if you're a woman and you're in the menopausal part and you actually need to lose weight, so the type of exercise it needs to be formulated to suit that need. If you need to lose weight, then you just can't do casual walks. It's got to be a bit aerobic. And of course, we talked about the weight. So that's the one thing he's not doing yet. He's not adding weight to what he's doing, and I think it's
I do.
important. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But
You just don't
just
see me when I add the weights.
remember to modify it to suit what you need. Talking on the fruits and eating well, let's quickly we'll come to the let's quickly actually let's talk about let's touch on some on anti-aging or beneficial fruits. And when I say anti-aging, these are just fruits that are better for us, fruits and vegetables that are better for us at this age. Remember also when we talk about the eating a healthy diet, what you eat and when you eat it as well matters. So previously, I know some people would have their fruits in the evening, but when you're past 50, you have to switch it. You can't have anything that would spike your sugar level overnight while you sleep. And then the time you eat also matters as well. So when is dinner time? So sometimes, there are times when we've
Midnight
been out,
feast.
oh my goodness, we've been out late and we're eating at 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, you're living dangerously. Now, years ago, when you're younger, you could do that. But again, when you're dealing with how you sleep, how your body metabolizes, that all those you begin to pay attention or closer attention to that. So let's very quickly, blueberries, it's loaded with vitamin A and C. Grapes, again, lowers stress in the body. It's called resveratrol. That's how it does it for the cells. Pomegranates, we've had a show on this one, packed with compounds that protect the skin from damage and boost immunity. You want fruits that are loaded with antioxidants and that are immunity boosting. Avocados, high in healthy fats and vitamin E, keeps the skin supple and plump. I'm not going into a long list, but just the high hitters or the big hitters. Vegetables, sweet potatoes and carrots, full of beta carotene, which turns into vitamin A and defends the skin from the sun. Broccoli, high in fiber, also makes collagen, rich in vitamin C. Spinach and kale contains lutein and many other nutrients that shield the eyes from harmful light. Tomatoes, high in lycopene, which guards the skin against UV rays and fine lines. Now, with tomatoes, if you're arthritic, you've got to watch the quantity with that one because of that protein that kind of spikes inflammation. Now, let's look at the things that influence human longevity. Some of these things are out of our control. Some are within our control. DJ Val has told us about regular exercise. We've just talked to nutrition right now. There are some that are out of our control, like genetics. You can't pick the genetics that your family give you, and that's actually a baseline. That's where it starts from. You go to see the doctor asks you, what's your family history? Is there this? Is there that? Is that? So that's always the baseline. So if people are prone to obesity in that family, the chances are that you're going to have to watch out for that in yourself if that's not already presented in you. So your genetics are always a baseline. Many of you said I look like my mom. So I always took her as a baseline. Even though I'm much bigger than she was, she knew she had the propensity to gain weight and she really worked at it, always wore clothes that would keep her in check, keeping her, and she always kept active, 5 a.m. running in the parks. So you look at your genetics as your baseline and it informs your decisions as well. So is that awareness? Oh, I need to look out for that. If my parents were like this, I need to look out for that. Then lifestyle, we've just talked about that. Daily habits. So your exercise, your nutrition, that forms part of your lifestyle, And again, sleeping, drinking, partying too hard, up to odd hours of the morning. And then, after a while, those lifestyle, they begin to tell on you. Are you smoking? Are you drinking? You can look at women in their 60s, if they're smoking, you look at their skin and you can tell right away. You know, people who are still drinking well into their 60s, you look at their teeth, you look at their skin, you can tell. So these habits also influence us. Also, the environment. The environment. You know, are you where are you living? You know, do you have good access to healthcare in poorer countries? That plays. Women remain sick because from the village to the next health center is perhaps 2 days walk, and they can't afford it. So sicknesses are undetected and they stay unhealthy for longer. But whereas in certain societies, access to medical care, the environment where we're here out, we're blessed with this environment, and this environment by the end of today would have distressed me, removed some elements of stress from my week. Do you understand? But some people don't have that. So these things are factors. Now we're still on things that influence longevity. Quality of your sleep, we've talked on that. Blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar, we've talked on that as part of the diet and all of that. Now there's some of these blood pressure, cholesterol that are also genetics, have been inherited. So as skinny as you are, it's got nothing to do with your weight, but yet these things are in your DNA. So people, be aware, get your health checks, managing stress. I just talked about this environment calming me. And, you know, if you go for a walk, what does that do for you? At the end of a hectic week on a Friday, how do you decompress? Do you go to the steam sauna? Do you have a hot shower? What do? You have to find ways to manage stress. These habits don't just increase your lifespan, they also increase, like we said, your health span, the years you spend in good health. We talked about friendship, we talked about the epidemic, loneliness epidemic, and we said that maintaining social connections kept us healthy. Remember, we touched on that. So I pulled that in. I thought, yeah, that's an influence to longevity. If you've got good family network, friends, etc., etc. Some people, they live so long now. We're looking for people in their 90s and 100s to socialize with my father because many of his age mates have passed away. Do you understand? So if you maintain those connections, it keeps you mentally vibrant, and those increase your health span. Remember, what we're talking about here is just keeping you in good health. For today's show, for today's conversation, we're just focusing on the signs of aging. DJ Val, you're nodding.
I am nodding because we have to bring it to
We have to
a
go.
close. We
Okay.
are over time.
Okay.
We're going to have to save some for next week.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But really great conversation. And I think, you know, a couple of things that resonated with me is stay fit, stay healthy, keep learning, and stay connected with your people around you, part of your community as well. We just spoke about loneliness last episode. And this is a great way for you to remain quite age well and remain vibrant. People that are isolated don't do well health-wise. So try and get out and try and be part of your local community. Shout outs, please, my dear.
I think we've got the general August, where people were in the second week of August. Can you believe that? Second week of August. So we've got a few birthdays. Dio Onanuga, all the way from Chicago. No, Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Motor City,
Motor
Michigan,
City,
baby.
Michigan, yes. And we've got Fatia, our decorator.
Yes,
it was her
Fatia's
birthday during the week. And it's Mommy Patricia Chukwudima's birthday today. Mommy, I know we're celebrating with you later. Shout out. If you're listening, if she's not, make sure she sees this. Guys, remember, like we said, the goal isn't to avoid aging because we can't avoid it. It's not possible. But the goal is to do it with strength, joy, independence, and with much of our cognitive function still intact and sharp.
Brilliante.
We will leave you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. And we hope that you took some notes and you made mental notes of things to just be aware of. Because sometimes many of these things, you already know them. There's nothing we've said today you don't know. But I always find that it's always nice when it's put together and you're reminded of them. Then it wakes it up once again. And perhaps like some of you always go, you know what? Let me go get this over the weekend. Let me crack on onto this. And I hope that that's what this would do for those of you who are in that era. And if you're not in this era where you're aging and you know your parents, your aunties, your loved ones, then share the show with them. Share it with them. Let them listen. And hopefully next week we'll come back with part 2. And next week we will then talk about what are we talking about? Next week we're talking about aging as a privilege and retirement, doing that in full splendor. Guys, may the good Lord keep you. May he bless you. Thank you so much for your time, and may he continue to, in your going out and in your coming in, if there's any one of us on this show that, yes, we know that we're going through the process of aging with difficulty, I pray that the Lord will help us, give us understanding. If there are those who are not responding to their medication, I pray that the Lord will help your body, your house, your temple to respond to medication that will help improve your aging process. May he bless you. Remember, do not render evil for evil, but be the change that you want to see. Love you. Adios.
Adios, folks. What's on your mind? We're in the open air. We have to go, regardless
It went
of
so
where.
quickly.
Morning vibes.
That's
I feel
happened.
so
You're having
nice.
fun. It went so
Tune in
quickly.
now.
It's
breakfast time. Ciao.